Nowadays, the white elephant is under control of the Department of National Parks. Elephant itself also can learn from people.
Exactly.
And this is becoming very international issue for the wildlife conservation. We just have the new act that we call the Ivory Act at the beginning of last year.
Sadika, welcome to Thailand. Today I'm Kusuma Yothasut as your host. Elephant is the national symbol of Thailand. In the old days, they were fearsome war animals and later were essential in forestry and logging. As forests shrink and natural food sources dwindle as a result of deforestation, encroachment and new settlements, wild animal or wild elephant population has dropped at an alarming rate. Addressing the issue, His Majesty the King once said, "Elephants belong to the forest, but we have to provide them with enough food sources. In practice, we have to create small food sources scattered in the forest. If the elephants moved out to the edge of the forest, then we have to protect them." How Thailand is doing to save its natural symbol? Thailand today is pleased to welcome Mr. Adisorn Noochdumrong, Deputy Director General, National Parks and Wildlife Department, to discuss the situation concerning wild elephants and whether solutions are close at hand. We are honored to welcome Mr. Adisorn Noochdumrong, Deputy Director General, National Parks, Wildlife and Plants Conservation Department. Sawadika.
Sawadika.
Thank you and welcome to Thailand today, sir.
My pleasure.
Well, we need you really because it's such important and very sensitive talk on the wildlife, and that wildlife is elephants.
Yeah.
So
it's a big issue.
It's a big issue and a big, huge body anyway.
Big body.
So what is the difference between the wild elephants and the domesticated elephants?
Actually, the wild elephant and the domesticated elephants, they are the same in the long times ago. They are staying in the forest together. But nowadays, the wild elephant is under control of the Department of National Parks, Wildlife and Plant Conservation. But domesticated elephant is under control of the Department of Interior and Ministry of Interior.
And in what way, sir? In what way to know that which is? I can bring it in as put in my house, and I said it's a domesticated.
So the difference is if you see the elephant in the forest, that wild elephant. If you see, but actually, if you look at the elephant itself physically, you don't know how what is the wild elephant and domesticated elephant. But actually, there are the domesticated elephant. Domesticated elephant, they have the document.
Okay.
They have to register with the Department of Interior that I told you.
That's all. That is the only paper. So someone owned an elephant, whatever. You got it from the forest or not, you bring it for registration.
And they are under control by the different law also.
Like what, sir?
Like wild elephant is under the Wild Animal Reservation and Protection Act. And the domesticated elephant is under the Beast of Burden Act. They are different.
So you said wild animal like elephant is natural to preservation.
Yeah.
So for that, what is kind of law and enforcement?
So
someone
by
violated.
Law, the wild elephant is protected by law. So people cannot hunt, cannot do hunting, cannot do poaching. They cannot have that wild elephant in their house, in their home, or in possession. And also, people cannot trade the elephant or the part of the elephant.
We could see even today, even if we government or official trying to block them from bringing to the city, we could see that. So is there any protection or anything?
Actually, elephants stay long time in the forest.
Yeah.
But the people enclose their forest, enclose their habitat, and produce the agricultural land and into the forest. So it doesn't mean the elephants come out to the urban, to the housing area of the people.
Yeah.
So the people make confusing.
Yeah, confused to the animal,
Confused
to the
animal,
elephant, because,
because
and then even if when the elephants came into town, or taken up what they grown, being harmful. They do harm to the elephants too.
Yeah, in the past, people used to walk along their way to find their food, but the people enclose their area of their trail.
Yes.
So then but actually the elephant don't make harm to the people if people don't make them harm first. But when people get angry, the elephant come and destroy their house, destroy their property, destroy the agricultural land. So people get angry and shoot them, or maybe sometimes make them many ways for the elephant to get hurt.
Yes, but you as the director of the department, which is very important and deal directly with it, is there any, because those land, I want to make sure, because our audience is 177 countries may not understand, but why that particular land used to be forest, so now people move in to live there. So is that the land, is a government land or is it someone land?
It used to be the forest land, but because the population is increasing every day, and they need more land for their housing, for their agricultural production. So they start encroaching into the forest.
Legally or illegal?
Both legally and illegally.
So it's your department, I think, and the government have to work very hard on that.
Yes,
So what is the situation concerning wild elephants in Thailand now?
So the number of wild elephants is decreasing from the past, and nowadays I think the recent survey we found that the number of population of wild elephant population is about 3,500 elephants in the forest.
At the moment.
At the moment, but in some area the population is decreasing, but in some area the population is increasing.
Which way to increase them?
So we have to.
I know how the decreasing, but increasing. Which way?
It's just like people, if you have a safety house, you have enough food, so you will have more baby. Just if you have security, so the population will increase.
How about the I should call it suggestion or whatever, the speech of His Majesty the King to scatter food everywhere for for elephant. Is there any have done it to this matter to follow the?
We have followed
His Majesty
the initiative of His Majesty, and in many places, so we have this kind of project, and it's very successful. But only in some cases, but the number of wild elephant is increasing. Maybe there are not enough food and water in the forest. We have to put more food and water resources into the forest. And also for the human and elephant conflict, so we try many ways to solve this problem. May I give you the case of example in in the eastern forest complex. We call the 5 provinces border forest complex.
Okay.
So we try many ways. For example, we try to build the canal along the border of the forest to protect or to prevent the wild elephant to come out.
Oh, okay.
And in some area that we cannot dig the canal, so we make a fence, like an electric fence.
Electric fence.
And also together with that, we also try to build more water resources and also build more food resources.
Mr. Deputy, you talk about this is only all over the country being done this?
There are about 68 protected areas that having wild elephant in that area. So we have done in every protected areas having wild elephant.
So the 68 protected area must be increasing now.
Yeah,
right. They should be
as
increasing
we try to
in numbers.
Communicate with the people living around the area to protect the forest, to protect the forest fire. If no encroaching, no more fire, so the number of wild elephant will increase.
Yeah, it's such a cute animal, and then they have such a very loving nature.
Very clever too. So we try many ways to protect them. Since they are very clever, they try to escape our fence. They try to escape our canal.
When Mr. Deputy Director General talking about a clashing or between human and elephant, I'm thinking of the vocational students fighting each other. But it's an animal and human beings to fight. So we are wrong actually. That we are human beings who are wrong. Who step over.
We know the language. We can learn many things, but elephant itself also can learn from people also.
Exactly.
But the difference is they cannot say what they want. They cannot say what they feel or how they feel. So,
Sir, can you tell us for the knowledge and for us as a layman, how deep the people should not explore into it? How deep the animal should be left from the road or from whatever area?
Actually, there should be, like we call the buffer zone to be at least 1 kilometer.
1 kilometer buffer zone should be made 1 kilometer away from
the border of the forest.
From the road?
From the border of the forest. At least should be 1 kilometer. So
that's enough. It should be much deeper.
At least more is better.
So the reason that being seen that elephants came into the populated areas for food, it's just the main thing. That's nothing else. Not to harm or anything.
Yeah, for looking for the food, since they have enough food in the forest.
So the one that we normally see in the news that the elephant came on the road and all that kind of thing, that is away from is it including 68 protected area?
Yeah.
Is that part of it?
It's a part of 68 protected area. For example, in Khao Yai. So in the case of Khao Yai, that area is inside the national parks. People drive in and see the elephant on the road.
Why can't you make as a rule and regulation as a law? No more road, no more entrance, no more entertainment to people, and so we preserve the feeling of the animals, not only elephants but many others.
So we want to do that, but in some cases where people also want to learn from the nature, they want to see the animal, to see the real time animal in the forest.
The animal doesn't want it to be seen, even to learn about it. But anyway, so this is seem to be difficult solution. Did you find
for national park we allow people to come in and and see the natures. But in the wildlife sanctuary, so we don't allow people to come in. That is the home of animal. We have two kind of protected areas: national park and wildlife sanctuary.
Yes.
So different purpose.
We've been talking, we have been seeing, and every time when we see on the news, the television, that this thing happening. So is there any holistic solution to ensure that proper protection of these elephants and the problem being solved in the future? So.
Okay. So the problem is not the animal itself, but the problem is the people.
Yes.
We have to train the people. We have to make the people understand the natures and to understand the nature of the animal too. So if people learn and they know how to live with the nature and how to live with the animals, so
Yes,
I think they will protect them. So the main thing is how to make the people understand and join with the government to protect.
Well, in the big picture, how many government agencies are working together to look for this solution?
For the wild animal, there is only one organization, like National Park Wildlife and Plant Conservation. But there are many partners, like both government and non-government organizations, and there's a big partners now. It's becoming very international issue for the wildlife conservation and especially for the wildlife crimes. It's a big issue now.
So how do the foreign people look at our problem, look at Thailand, how solving problem, how do we protecting our national, elephant?
So I think for our national elephant is not a big problem, but the problem is the ivory that come from the African elephant. Now Thailand is now one of the 8 primary concerns for the illegal ivory trade, and we trying very hard to solve this problem, and I think we can now solve the problem. Maybe if not 100%, but I think the situation is getting better and better now. As we are talking now, so our staff is now in the meeting of the standing committee for the convention on international trade in wild fauna and flora.
Well, still good news for us, at least, that Thailand is stand still and stand firm in weight and to not supporting this selling of ivory and all that kind of thing.
So we try hard to be, withdraw from the primarily concerned countries. We hope in this by this year we're gonna have the conference of the parties COP17 in this September or October. I can't remember.
Yes, sir.
So
but how do we come out from that?
To be withdrawn from the primarily concerned countries, I think we need to show them that we can control the internal trade, and also we can control the international trade. That means we have to look at the seizure, the ivory seizure inside the country and outside the country to compare the proportion. If the proportion of the seizure of ivory inside the country is bigger than the portion of the seizure of ivory outside the country, that means we can completely close our door, not allow the ivory to be exported illegally.
Is there any way to make the Thai rich society, we call it the high soul society, who love to have ivory, decorated in their home. Is there any, what do you call it, lesson learned or any, just want them just to get cooperation from, do you have such a thing?
If the ivory it's come from the dead, the naturally dead animal, it's okay. It's legally, if you get it legally, it's no problem to have it. Like in wild Thai elephant, if the elephant die because of die is by itself,
natural death,
and then the owner get the ivory and maybe they keep it or they can sell it to anyone legally. So that is okay. But most of the ivory now is in the market now is illegal imported ivory. So we have been trying to control the market. We just have the new act that we call the Ivory Act at the beginning of last year.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it's 1 year already. We have this
to do what?
To control
what do you say that? What is the act meant for that?
This act is to control the trade, the ivory trade in the country. So people want to process or want to trade the ivory, they have to get permission from our department. So.
Very good, very good. So at least we know that protection has been up in the degree, at least something coming up.
The degree is.
Yes. So do you see, saving the elephants one way, while ensuring the livelihood to the local villages affected by animal is another tough thing. How do you do that? How do you manage it?
This is very sad that when the elephant come out and maybe they kill the people living around the forest. So we help the people by paying them some kind of compensation for their agricultural products or for their properties. If someone get killed, so we also have to take care of their families.
But we cannot ask them to move out, sir. They could not move out to stay somewhere else. It's not their own land.
Yeah,
isn't their own land?
Since many of them stay in the forest illegally, so but it's difficult to move them out, to move them to where, because nowhere to give no land, not enough land to.
Then what? Last but not least, also in that case, then do you have a very wise words to say to them to understand the real problem and go on with life together?
We try to educate the people, not to hurt the elephant. So and now they understand, because the government will help them to protect the elephant, and if they don't make hurt to the elephant, so we will congratulate them, and then we will support them in any way we can. And then we will compensate for their loss of property, and also if in case of death, so we also help them every effort we can.
At least we know that the government and also the Department of Wildlife is trying to look for a balance between protection of animals and the livelihood of the people. So thank you very much for being here, sir. Thank you. Thailand Today would like to thank Mr. Adisorn Noochdumrong, Deputy Director General, National Parks and Wildlife Department, for keeping informed of the situation facing wild elephants in our country. This is a sensitive issue, and there's an urgent need to find a balance between the protection of these elephants and the livelihood of the people in the contested area. Thank you for watching Thailand Today. I'm Kusuma, your Taswood. Hope to see you again next time. Swadika.